Adam Sandler has pretty much done it all when it comes to the movie industry, so naturally the only last logical place for him to go is outer space, which he does in the new Netflix film Spaceman. But does it end up creating an engaging experience? Houston, we have a problem. What's up, guys? I'm Sully, and today we're talking about the brand new Netflix film from Adam Sandler, Spaceman. All you need to know about this one is that the story goes like this. Half a year into his solo mission on the edge of the solar system, an astronaut concerned with the state of his life back on Earth is helped by an ancient creature he discovers in the bowels of his ship. Now look, I absolutely love Adam Sandler. I grew up with all of his movies, I rewatch them all the time, and I'm always down for him to take on more of these dramatic roles as he gets older. Uncut Gems and Hustle were two of the best films of their respective years, and he was paired with directors that knew how to utilize his strengths when it came to flexing his more serious acting muscles a bit. So naturally, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't pretty excited when I heard that Spaceman was coming out and that it was directed by Johan Renck, the guy behind the camera for every single episode of Chernobyl. Yeah, that Chernobyl. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, this is just one of those movies that ends up being frustrating more than anything else, because there are a lot of good pieces in the mix here when it comes to the actors, the visuals, and the general idea, but it seemed like the pacing and the execution were doing everything in their power to make me disengage with the film the deeper it took me through this mind-bending journey. If it wasn't obvious enough already, I'm split down the middle on this one, which is kind of a bummer because I feel like on the surface, when you hear what this movie is about, it sounds pretty damn interesting, right? An astronaut is on a solo mission for an entire year, but while he's up in space, he feels like his life back on Earth is falling apart, so he enlists the help of a magical talking spider creature to open his mind and regain control. Like, come on, you're not already on board after hearing that? The concept behind this movie is great, and it definitely could have led to an interesting and sort of speculative journey through time and space, but I just don't know if there's enough meat on the bone here to warrant a full feature-length film revolving around this story. This movie is basically one of those big chocolate Easter bunnies, always a welcome gift if you have a sweet tooth like I do, but take your first bite into that thing and you quickly realize that it's hollow on the inside. Now don't get me wrong, there are fragments of an interesting and layered history in here that are shown to us through various flashbacks and monologues, but it's just not handled in a way that's interesting or satisfying. It ended up presenting more questions than answers, which I don't think was the intention, but maybe it was, because the film tries its best to pretty much be a Walmart version of Interstellar and Ad Astra, which I don't think was the best idea, because I went into this one hoping it would feel a lot more like Moon with Sam Rockwell. Really good film if you haven't seen it, but that's another story about an astronaut on a solo mission who's alone with his own thoughts, and stuff starts to get a little bit more haywire as the story goes further and further. But the big difference here is that I just wasn't totally able to connect with our main character and his struggles all that much. Adam Sandler's character is left to his own devices, constantly contemplating where his life went wrong and how to improve upon this situation with his wife for the majority of the film, to the point that it becomes pretty tedious and depressing. If you want to watch a guy be lonely and glum for an hour and 45 minutes, that's totally fine, but I just don't know if Adam Sandler is the guy that I want to watch doing that. It's not the best way to use him. Getting to the performances though, I thought everyone involved did a pretty solid job with the material they were given. Sandler plays a convincing enough lonely astronaut, even if he spends most of the movie figuring out if he should do a Czech accent or not. Carey Mulligan does some nice work as the frustrated wife of our protagonist here, and even though I don't think it's a role that's giving her too much of a challenge due to what I've seen her take on in the past, she offers up a nuanced performance. I have to say though, the standout for me was Paul Dano's vocal performance as this weird, all-knowing spider creature. I thought he did a really good job bringing an air of mystery and intelligence to the role, and if I'm ever in heavy isolation seeing talking animals, I hope they sound like him. His relationship with our main character and their conversations together are far and away the most interesting parts of this film, and I really enjoyed their banter. I just wish they had more captivating problems to work through over the course of the movie. Overall, guys, Spaceman was a pretty mixed bag for me. The concept, the visuals, and the performances make it seem like we're in store for a gripping and abstract sci-fi romp through space and time. But the pacing and the execution left me disengaged from the overall journey and the struggles of our main character. I'll pretty much watch anything that Adam Sandler's in, and he can do no wrong in my eyes, but I don't think this is a movie that I'm going to be coming back to anytime soon. soon. Spaceman gets a Sully score of 2.5 stars. So that's my review of the latest Netflix film. What do you think is the best Adam Sandler movie we've ever gotten? I know, pretty much an impossible question to answer, but let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys at the next one.